also had a moment with someone else that was in my course who didn't realize that we actually had to teach on this prac and it was not just observational. So I was able to just whip this folder out and show him. It was really handy just to have it there. Welcome back to Diary of a Drama Teacher. My name is Carly and I'm a pre-service drama and music teacher. It's been a hot minute. I haven't made a video in a while because everything has been crazy busy. So to give you a very quick update, I went on my first prac, which is what I'm going to be talking about in this video, as well as I've just finished uni for the year, so that's my first year done. I feel like it's gone really fast, but also so slow at the same time, but I'm a quarter of the way through my degree now, so I get a break. I get a break until February. But I want to talk today about my first prac because there was such a big lead up for such a long time and I was so nervous about it, and now it's done and I want to talk about it. I want to share my experience. I want to hear other people's experiences. If you're watching this and you're about to go on your first prac, or you've been on some already but you still want to see what I did, then hello, welcome. So first things first, I thought it was important when talking about my experience and my takeaways, but I also wanted to just talk about some preparation stuff, because if you've been watching me for a while, you will know that I am super organized. So like I went hard in my preparation for prac, and I decided that I was going to meal prep for everything. I am very glad that past Carly was prepared enough to meal prep, but I want to talk to you about what is in my prac bag. First things first, this isn't really in my prac bag, but it's still part of the whole like getting ready thing, is a lanyard, and I wore this everywhere. I did attach my blue card to it and my student ID, which just meant I was really easily identifiable, as I didn't have a name badge or anything, and also it's just so cute. It's from Chuckle & Wood, which are a small business, and she makes the most beautiful lanyards, so definitely get on that. So I made the mistake on my very first day of taking my handbag. That could not have been a worse idea. On our first day, we actually had like orientation, but also the sign-in process took about an hour because there was about 70 prac students there. So I was standing there with my handbag and it had so much stuff in it, and then we went on a tour of the school, so we spent about half the day me standing with my handbag on my shoulder, and I honestly thought like my shoulder was gonna fall off. And I'm not kidding. At the end of the first day, I was like, absolutely not. I am not taking my handbag again. I'm going to be practical and I'm gonna take a backpack. So I did. I took my favorite backpack, and I think it's really important that you actually have a proper bag because you have to carry it around everywhere you go. We didn't really have somewhere we could leave our stuff, so I had to carry it around everywhere. And I mean, yes, I do look like a little bit of a dork with my backpack on, but you know what? I don't care. Comfort first. So let's talk about what is actually in my backpack. It has two compartments, which was kind of handy. So at the front, I just had like my wallet and sunglasses, which, you know, are really good for the playground duty life. Because I actually did do playground duty, and I would recommend asking to do playground duty because nobody really wants to do it, but it's part of the teaching experience, so you gotta do it. Secondly, lunchbox. As I said before, I meal prepped all my meals, so I had all my food to go. I did have a fridge that I can put food in, thankfully, and it just made it a lot easier when it came to time for me to actually go have lunch, which was usually pretty short, so it just made that easier to have all my lunch ready to go. The other thing is my laptop. I was asked specifically to bring my laptop because I had a bit of planning time, so I would go away and do planning on my laptop. But also when I actually taught lessons, I needed to have my own laptop. The other thing I'll add to that, and it's kind of a little story, is that one of the lessons that I planned, the students needed to watch a video from YouTube because we were studying Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. And I was like, I've got my laptop ready to go, everything was set up. I was running a little bit late to that particular class because we only had a 5-minute break in between, so I didn't have a chance to set up the room. So we get to me doing my 17-minute lesson, and I get to the part where I need to play them the YouTube video, and I go to connect my laptop to the projector, and I remember that I have a Mac and it does not have HDMI on it. So I had a HDMI cable but no adapter to actually attach it to my computer. And thankfully, because it was my first prac, my mentor teacher did let me borrow her laptop to play it because I had a link from my lesson plan. But it was super embarrassing, and it was definitely that if you were on any other prac but your first, you'd be on your own, buddy. You will have to come up with something other than watching the video because you were not prepared. So HDMI adapter I actually added into my lesson plan from then on so that I would remember. The last thing is my prac planner. I used this the whole time. People said that I looked really organized with my prac planner, particularly other students, and I just felt like an organization queen with my prac planner. I had everything printed in here. The other thing that I'll just quickly say that I had in my bag was I had, for my lesson plans, I wanted to do exit tickets as a conclusion of the lesson, you know, like the 3, 2, 1 strategy, or ways to conclude the lesson that I got the students to write down and keep for me as formative assessment. Sorry. So what I did is I actually kept a whole stack of these in my bag, so that when it got to time for my lesson, I was able to just pull them out. And these are actually used ones that the kids wrote on as their formative assessment that I was able to take and keep, and eventually I am going to collate them into a Word document, but I haven't got around to it yet. So that is what is in my bag. Next, I want to talk to you about what's actually in my prac planner. Isn't she beautiful? So I actually used a pre-made prac planner by Tailor Made Teaching. She's on Teachers Pay Teachers. It was like $5, absolute bargain because it's completely editable and you can print the pages that you want. I know that I'm certainly going to use it for every prac going forward. I did find that it's geared more towards primary school, and as I'm doing secondary, there are a lot of pages I didn't need to use, but that's fine for me because I just printed off the ones that I did need to. So we've got this pretty prac planner. So I got these tabs just from, to be honest, I got the whole thing from Kmart. I got the folder from Kmart, it was like $4 or something, and the tab inserts. I just found this really easy to be able to flip to the section that I want. So the first section is all information on the school, so obviously I can't show you that. So the next section I had is lesson prep. In here I put my mentor teacher's timetable, meeting notes, the assessment task that I was planning my lessons off. I kept that in there. You'll see that they have pages for brainstorming, so I used this for some of my initial lesson planning that I was doing when I wasn't quite sure yet what I was going to actually put in my planner. They have a lessons observation template. I think it is very pretty. Some of the other things is they have these overviews of the school day, and that's been really helpful for me to remember what I need to do. So today is a fabulous Monday, and then they have things like duties, meetings, to do. So I put things in here about when I had prac, lesson plans due, lessons that I'm teaching today, student absences. This didn't really apply to me, and then morning, middle, afternoon, and after school. And so I was able to keep a track of what I actually did every day, because to be honest, they all kind of melded into one and I couldn't remember what I did on what day. So it was good that I ended up actually writing that in there. The next section I have is for schedule. So what I ended up doing in here is, when I went to actually do my lessons, I taught 4 lessons, 4 70-minute lessons to the Year 8 drama class. And what I decided to do was I would print off my lesson plan, double-sided, and I just highlighted the important bits. I mean, this is a little bit of overkill, and I don't think I would do it in later pracs, but as it was my first one, I was really nervous, and it just helped me to refocus and to be like, okay, this is what we're doing now, this is the main points. So I can kind of show you, here I put in all my lesson plans, and I'm going to keep them. So these are lesson plans, and I just highlighted all the key things for the activities so that I could still remember what I was doing and things like that. And I just found it helpful for me in particular because I tend to waffle. As you will see from this video, I tend to waffle, I get excited, I talk about things that are not on topic. So I use it as a recentering to be like, okay, this activity is meant to go for 10 minutes. I've just looked at my watch and we're at 20, so let's skedaddle on to the next one. The other thing that we've got in here is the reflection section. So evaluation, reflection, and feedback. This is just a whole bunch of sections where you can put in things about your teaching philosophy. It gives you a really great template to be able to reflect on a lesson. So with my lessons, my mentor teacher got me to do a PMI chart, so positives, minuses, and improvements, after every lesson that I personally taught. And I think that was really helpful for me to be able to not just focus on the negatives, and to also see the positives of what I taught, and to see different points of views and what I can improve on. And that's a really handy piece of feedback for me to have for the future. Also just to see how far I've come, and what I was working on in my first prac will be very different from what I'm working on in other pracs. Another thing I really like that they put in this prac folder is they've got a section on teacher wellbeing and self-care, and it just gives you some tips and things. And if you saw my last video about self-care, I think it's really important. So I found it really nice in here. It was about saying how you're feeling and some inspirational quotes, and I thought that was really lovely. And then the last section in my book is to do with my actual uni. So what I did is I printed off the professional experience booklet, I printed off the course requirements for me to actually tick off that I'd done prac, and the requirements of how much I had to teach, and I also printed off all of my different reports that I'd need, because even though I was going to send an electronic copy to my mentor teacher to fill out, I still wanted to have it there, an easy referral, because for the first probably about at least half a week, if not a week, I didn't have access to the Wi-Fi, and the reception was pretty bad, so I couldn't even connect to my hotspot, so I wasn't able to access anything on the internet on my laptop that wasn't already downloaded. So it was easy for me to be able to refer. I also had a moment with someone else that was in my course who didn't realize that we actually had to teach on this prac, and it was not just observational, so I was able to just whip this folder out and show him, and it was really handy just to have it there. So that was my prac folder. Thank you for watching this video. If you liked it, give it a thumbs up, or please subscribe to see more of my content. While you're here, head over to my Instagram, Diary of a Drama Teacher vlog, for more of my content and behind the scenes. Thank you so much for watching. I hope this has been helpful to you. If you have also been on your first prac, let me know in the comments below if you've been on any of your pracs. How did it go? Did you have any similar experiences to me, or do you have any other tips? I would love to hear them. If you're watching this and it's your first prac coming up, please know that you are going to be great. It is scary, I know, I've been there, but know that you can do this, and you got it. Believe in yourself, be prepared, be organized, and it's all gonna go great. So I'll see you soon.